I've never seen anything like it in junior cricket, and I was just amazed. I was actually walking around going, I really didn't think that this would ever happen in junior cricket, and it did. There's cars lining the ground, which I've never seen at junior cricket before. There's parents everywhere.
The comment was made to me, if we get 30 children, that'd be great. First night, 150 children turned up.
We've got over 200 children here on the one ground on a Thursday.
We started off initially with a full girls program. It's seen us have around about 60 girls start that initial program, and those girls are now graduating 2 years later into our junior system.
We have 26 sides now under 12 competition, and we think over 85 to 90% of the kids playing T20 have gone up to the number, which is quite substantial.
We've now got 120, 130 kids under the age of 12.
A couple of years ago, we were down to as low as 12 teams within our 11s and 12s. They were just dying off slowly. So the start of the T20 Blast has now seen those numbers revised back to about 25 teams now playing, and that's within a 2-year period. And 25, 26 teams is about the maximum number we've ever had in the last 15 years.
The initial concerns that the association had and some clubs was that maybe the T20 Blast may take some of the under-9 players away from their hardball game.
We were always used to the under-10 program being the initial program where kids would start playing cricket.
We've certainly found that this has been a better introduction or transition from the inter-cricket to playing a game before they get to the hardball.
They've had those 2 extra years to refine their skills from inter-cricket, but they've also developed the game awareness. So things like backing up and running between wickets.
Going straight into under-10s either from Milo or not even without any preliminary program, they're just really green. They're not even sure if they like the game.
When they're 9 and 10, the bigger kids don't want to play with the little kids. It gets to the point where it's too hard for them, but they don't want to go up against the bigger kids in the white pants and the red ball.
You get a lot of kids develop at different rates, and some kids are quite small and they haven't quite grown yet. So to have them still engaged in the game, feeling safe, feeling involved, feeling like they can compete.
We try to play the hard ball, but he gets a bit apprehensive. And I reckon if he played with the hard ball and did get hit, he may lose confidence and not even enjoy cricket.
We're just not losing players. They're getting better. Their skill set's getting better for us as a club. They're going to enter, into our club as really well-seasoned young players, ready to want and really make a difference in club sport.
If you had one shot, one opportunity.
If you're not so good in outdoor cricket, you face a couple of balls and you're back sitting down in the pavilion pretty quick. Whereas this type of format, the kids get to play continuously and there's no real, you didn't succeed aspect of it.
You could be the worst fielder and the worst batter, but you still get the same amount of time as the best fielder and the best batter.
You know you're going to bat for 4 overs, you know you're going to bowl for 4 overs, and when you field, you rotate right around the field. So everyone's a wicket keeper, everyone fields at square leg and mid on and mid off, and it's a smaller field, so the energy levels are always high.
If you haven't scored off 2 deliveries, you get a free hit. Well, I've watched a lot of Saturday morning cricket and that's not what happens. The poor kid sits out there and doesn't even get a run. The free hit is amazing. I just think the kids actually enjoy it, but you see as the season goes on, you see fewer and fewer free hits. The kids start bowling straighter and straighter and straighter.
The greatest skill I think is to make sure if they hit straight between the cones or in the grey cones, they get double the score. So they're really focusing on trying to get their techniques correct.
They're all out here and they're all doing something the whole time.
If they're batting, they're on the field. If they're bowling or fielding, they're on the field. When they're waiting to bat, they can go down to a skill zone.
They've got a limited attention span and you've got to keep them busy the whole time. If you don't keep them busy, you're going to lose them, then they're going to lose interest in cricket and they'll find something else to do.
The skill zone in particular gives you a real opportunity to hone in and focus on particular items. It might be something as simple as we're going to teach you how to pick up and throw correctly, or maybe just working on hitting in the V and hitting straight with the batters. It could be something very small. But we then see that transition into the games, we then see improvement in quality within the games on a Friday night, and that eventually flows on into longer forms of cricket when we move into Saturday mornings. I think there was lots of reservations at the start. I think especially when we were talking to all 7 clubs and asking them to send players to one club, I think there was lots of concerns about, well, will I lose my players? How does that work? How does that happen? I think it was really exciting to see clubs get on board and realise that no, this is a competition. We'll be sending players. If I don't have a whole team, I can still send half a team. I can send as many players I've got. Those players are grouped together and play as a team on the Friday nights, and they come back to the clubs.
They wear their club hats. So if they've been able to see, well, next year when I play under 11s, I go back to my club and I'm part of that club.
By running all of those children on one ground, it actually increases the enjoyment because it brings a bigger atmosphere to the ground.
There's 16 teams playing cricket at once on the ground. Yeah, it's massive.
It's a big atmosphere because you obviously see the ground full. I mean, that's what you see at the SCG or Melbourne Cricket Ground. So I think it builds the atmosphere and the kids see that.
I think the children get a real enjoyment from achieving something that they've never done before while their parents are watching it happen.
There's 250 cars. There's 500 people. It's a family affair, which hasn't happened for years at sporting bodies.
They've got the music playing and the sausage sizzles going on.
There's other kids running around on our ground who haven't yet reached Milo into cricket age or T20 Blast age, and they're running around as well with a bat and ball in their hand. And so I think it's got that generation hook, but it's also got the younger brothers and sisters coming through as well.
The T20 Blast has attracted players through the fun atmosphere that never really would have considered cricket before.
The majority of our girls especially have never played cricket before.
If it wasn't for T20, we probably would never have had the 24 girls come along and try cricket.
We actually have a girls program as well now on a different night. So we have 4 girls teams play on a Friday night in addition to this.
Because it's just an hour and a half, it's not a massive commitment. The parents stay around, like they love it, they enjoy being here.
We have mums who say, I love it, it's short and sweet, I cannot be at cricket for 4 hours. I know you're probably not meant to say that, but the mums who, they just don't have time for it.
By 8 o'clock on a Friday night, they've got the whole weekend to themselves. They can do what they want. So it's a now generation, and we're supplying a now game.
And it's also been great to see parents actually get up and get involved. They might initially come and think, oh gee, I can't do too much. But then when they realise, hey, it doesn't take too much to just stand in the middle or just provide direction, maybe just get the batters together and make sure the next batsman's ready. A mum can do that, a dad can do that, even if they've never had anything to do with cricket.
And it's one of the hardest things to do is get volunteers. And people come up and say, what can I do? What can I do to help? And that's really exciting.
We're actually teaching people going forward how to score and how to umpire. So it's not a babysitting club anymore. You don't get the parents front up, open the door, 3 kids pile out, and the parents drive away. The kids pull up, mum parks the car, they all get out of the car, then they all go and set up and stay there for the 3 hours.
If you've got people that already know how to set up games, how to score, how to umpire, how to coach and how to manage, just makes your life from an association point of view and a club point of view so much easier.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
If you're a purist, I love Test cricket, but young kids don't want to know about Test cricket. The BBL in general has been a great catalyst for kids at entry-level cricket to know how much fun cricket can be.
I think we look at the past in rose-coloured glasses a bit. We remember our own cricket and think that it has to be the same way. It doesn't have to be the same way. We got through it at the other end, but a hell of a lot of kids didn't.
Everything from the naming of the ground, so they get to play on similar grounds to what they see on television, the fact that they get to wear similar colours, the fact that, as I said, the game is set up to encourage big hitting.
We've been watching them on the television as well, so they can see a direct relationship between what they're doing on a Thursday night.
He emulates, you know, Khawaja going out to bat or Hussey going out to bat.
He's got his striker's cap on today and knows all the players' names.
Some of the girls that participated in our T20 Blast program before Christmas spent some time on the field at one of the heat games.
Because you're a part of the T20 program, you were invited to go and play on the MCG.
We took 2 little teams down to the SCG this year and they got to play at lunch break, so little things like that is just amazing. We're from the country.
I got bills, I gotta pay.
It's been a great winner here. You pay your $99 and you get everything provided.
When you consider the time period that you're playing for, that they're getting 90 minutes every week, that it's for a decent number of weeks.
I think you get a lot for your money in terms of the way the program is run, how it's organised and what goodie bags you get at the beginning of the season.
There's still enough money that comes back clearly into the program that allows you to employ coaches or skill zone helpers or to pay for a coordinator, and they're the important ingredients that you need to make the program successful.
There's advertising on TV and radio. There's local advertising in the local shopping centres. The schools are all getting promotion material sent through to them, which we haven't had to do.
They provided all the equipment for us, so there wasn't any out-of-pocket expenses.
You don't have to worry about the organisational part of it. You don't have to worry about your committee thinking about what they've got to do with the program every single week. You can just arrive, you know it's set up, get ready to go, sort out your teams if they're not sorted out and play cricket.
Every junior and senior club is represented here on a Thursday, and we've made it so that they're on the barbecue. We run term 4 and term 1, so they have a barbecue in term 4 and then another one in term 1.
And they all get 2 goes at supplying the barbecue and the drinks. So there's no loss to the clubs.
It's not about getting any money from subscriptions from junior players and getting that money and making it a part of your club's financial future. This investment to T20, they're going to come to our club with all these skills and love the game. So you might get 80% of the kids continually playing cricket, therefore spending that money through the junior program, as opposed to having 50 to 60% of the kids start as under 10s, drop out because they haven't got the skills and don't like it, and then you're losing all that other income because you don't have them coming through the junior program.
You only stick with something if you like doing it, and you know, to get them to love playing the game of cricket is what it's all about, and I think this does that.
It's about the kids having lots and lots of fun, and if they love the game first, they're going to keep playing it forever, and I think that's very much what T20 Blast is all about.